We're studying IGCSE biology, and we're looking at inheritance. In the last class, let's recap what we did. In inheritance 1, we looked at what is phenotype, we looked at what are the parts of a cell, nucleus, chromosome, gene, what are alleles, all of that. Safa and Zahra, I think we're there for that class. So after that, we looked at what diploid haploids are. We looked at what is mitosis, and we looked at what is meiosis. I think, yes, meiosis was right here. So this meiosis is basically reductional division, which makes 4 daughter cells, and you get haploid to diploid, diploid to haploid. One diploid cell makes 4 haploid cells. That's meiosis. There are 2 parts to this: first division, second division. Now we won't do that much of that today. We look at inheritance, more on inheritance, and in that we look at what are genotypes, what are phenotypes. Zahra, read this part quickly out loud.
Genotype, genetic makeup of an organism in terms of alleles present. Phenotype, the physical features of an organisms. Genotype gives rise to the phenotype.
Lalula, can you hear me? Assalamu alaikum, good evening.
Walaikum salam. Yes, I can hear you.
Now let's look at what is codominance. Read it quickly.
Codominance means sometimes neither of the alleles are fully dominant or restless. If heterozygous, then both the alleles have an effect on the phenotype.
Fine. Now we looked at blood groups, we looked at all of this. I gave you the probability. Lula, I checked your notes. You didn't write this part here. The probability. Okay, so please write this in your notebook. This part, right now, in the last class. Or take a screenshot right now and then put it in. This is a big thing.
That's right.
Now let's start in the new whiteboard. Today we look at genetic diagrams and pedigree diagrams. So agenda is genetic diagrams, pedigree diagrams. That's it. One more thing is sex-linked characteristics. Or gender-linked characteristics. Same thing. Now lastly, let's get your books, go to page number. Or if you don't have the book, it's fine, but it's page number. I think inheritance is 235. I'll show you the book on the screen over. Rachit, can you see the book?
Yes, sir.
Right here, let's look at genetic diagrams. Let's just start reading.
Yes, sir. Genetic diagrams. There is a standard way of writing out all this information. It is called a genetic diagram. First, write down the phenotypes and genotypes of the parents. Next, write down the types of gametes they can make, like this. Parents phenotypes, gray, charcoal. Parents phenotypes, G, capital G, small g. Charcoal, small g. Gametes, capital G or small g. And charcoal G. The next step is to write down.
Stop here. I'll show you what this means. What this really means is the genetic diagram is basically a way for realizing how can we take different kinds of phenotypes and genotypes and mix them together. Fine? How can we take different types of these and mix them together? Let's start on the whiteboard. What is a genetic diagram for the first thing? A genetic diagram is used for doing cross for monohybrid or hybrid crosses. What is the meaning of this? What this means is, let's first realize how we use it, then I'll tell you what all of it means. First thing first is, if I look at, let's say, we need a few things first. We look at parents, and we have two things, parents and offsprings. Is that clear, Lula? We have two things, parents and offsprings, and we'll write the genotype for all of them. Let's first start with the genotype. Genotype of the parent. Okay, but how do we know the genotype? We can only check or find the genotype by looking at the phenotype. Now, if I tell you that we have two parents, let's say the first parent is mother and the other parent is father. That's the phenotype. That's the physical characteristic of the parents. That one of them is a father, the other is mother. Or you could also say male or female. Now write all of this down from here. Now we're looking at this right now. So let's say one of them is female, the other one is male. The genotype for a female is always XX. The genotype for a male is always XY. Offsprings. Now, how do I know what offsprings are produced? How do I know that? We'll also have to look at the gametes. Now, Zahara, can you tell me what a gamete is?
6 cells.
Say that again.
6 cells.
Right, perfect. And they are haploid. So the gametes are going to be one of these. You have X, you have X. You have over here you have X and you have Y. These are the gametes. Fine. One of these sets. You have XX, X. One of the set haploid would be X. The other haploid cell would be X. Over here, X and Y. Now, how do I know what phenotype, genotype do the offsprings have? That's a question. To find that, we'll have to use something called the pedigree genetic diagram. Fine. Now, before I continue, where is Safa? Where is Diana? Zara.
Safa, she will join in a bit.
All right. Why?
I really don't know. She just said me I will be coming back. I said okay.
Okay. Zara, are you feeling well?
Yes, sir.
Luna, where is Diana?
She's with me.
With me, Diana. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Good evening, sir.
Yes. All right. Now, okay. I want you to read from here, Diana.
Parents, phenotype, genotype, gamete.
Gamete. Now, with the parent, Rachit, what is the phenotype of a female? What is the genotype of a female?
XX.
Zahra, what is the genotype of a male?
Genotype of
A male.
male XY.
XY. Now let's look at something called a monohybrid cross. Monohybrid cross. Now crosses are done with, it's like crossing these. We'll see what that means. Monohybrid cross. Write all of this in your notebook. Diana, Safa is not here. Lula and Rachit and Zara, write it in your notebook. Monohybrid cross. Let's see what that means. We'll start with making a diagram like this, a table. Top will give, let's say, the male, and over here we'll give female. These are the parents. So XY and XX. Fine. What are the products I'll get, Lula, if I cross X and X?
A girl.
I'll get a girl, which is XX. And same for this. Now, Diana, what will I get if I cross X with Y?
Male.
Male or male, XY. Now, that's fine. These are the, well, now in the genetic diagram, we only write the genotypes. Fine, let's write this as the genotypes right here. Now we look at the phenotypes. Okay, let's look at the phenotypes. The genotypes I got were X and XY. Can anyone tell me how many XX do I have?
2.
And XY is also 2. So therefore, this means there is a 50% chance. Right? Same thing for the phenotypes. Let's write it down over here. The phenotypes are girl and boy. So we get, there's a two girls are there and 2 boys are there. Therefore, we get a 50% chance. Now this 2, you can also write this as 1:1. And that is why this whole process is called a 1:1 monohybrid cross. Now I want you to write the whole thing in your notebook. Tell me when you're done. Now in this over here, do you understand how, Lula, how we got this 1:1 from 2:2?
No, sir.
We got this because if you have 2:2, if I simplify this, I can divide both sides with 2, and I'll get 1:1. It's like simplifying it. 2:2 is saying 1:1 because they are the same. In similar way, if I had, let's say, 4:2, I could simplify this to 2:1 by dividing both sides with 2. Right?
Isn't only like the percentage necessary, or like we have to also do this?
Say that again.
Like I thought only the percentage is necessary, like 50%.
No, this part is more necessary, not the percentage. Percentage is necessary, but this ratio, this is the ratio right here, is more important than the percentage. Fine. Rachit, how much have you written? And Zahra?
Sir, I've completed it.
Completed. Zahra, how much? Done. Diana?
Done.
Now this 1:1 is the main thing because we call it the 1:1 monohybrid cross. Why do we call it the monohybrid cross? Mono means 1. Hybrid means 2. Okay. Now why will we call this monohybrid cross? Because look, the female has only one type of allele, which is X only. So only has one type, female. While male has 2 types, X and Y. Right? Therefore we call it 2. So monohybrid cross. The mono is for female is only same. And hybrid means you have 2 types of these. Any questions? Any questions?
No, sir.
Let's look at another one like this. The second one is another monohybrid cross, but not 1:1. It's actually 3:2.
Sir.
Yes.
So they gave us um, the parents, right? Like, is it female or male in the question itself?
Yes.
Yeah.
They will always give you that in the question. Now let's focus on this. Now the words, the names don't really matter that much, but you need to know what it means. Now in this case, we'll have something else. Let's say instead of male and female, let's take something else. We'll first look at the parents here. In this part, we'll look at the parents. We always have the parent and the offspring. In this, the parent are going to be, let's say, or instead of just taking genes, let's take it like this. Parents, genotype, phenotype. Phenotype is, let's say, brown eyes. And brown eyes. So both of the parents have the same type of eyes or the phenotype. Phenotype is the physical characteristic. Now the genotype are the genes which cause these phenotypes. Let's say the genotypes are capital B, small b, capital B, small b. Fine. Now let's do a cross between these. Instead of XY, we now have capital B and small b. Now, Luna, do you know what capital B means?
Yes, it means dominance.
Dominant. Now, if you're getting brown eyes, let's write the gametes here, or instead of gametes, you write alleles. Same thing. B is going to be dominant, and it also means brown eyes. The other one, let's say small b, is recessive, and it means blue eyes. Now, in this case, since B is capital for both of them, they don't have blue eyes because B is dominant. It takes control. It's given preference. Let's try to find what offspring will be produced if I cross these two parents. Give me the products, Rachan.
Yeah. Sir, capital B, capital B.
Capital B, capital B. Lula, next one.
And
It will be big B, capital B and small b.
Rachit, next one.
sir, capital B, small b.
Diana, last one.
Capital B, no, small b, small b.
Right? Now we have different things happening here. It's a 3:2 monohybrid cross. Not two, it's 3:1. Let's see. Now, what are the genotypes I'm getting? I'm getting genotypes such as capital B. I'm getting capital B, small b. Fine. So these two are together. And I'm also getting small b, small b. Fine. Now we realize the phenotypes for capital B and small b are exactly the same. They both mean the same thing. And they both will give us brown eyes. Why? Because capital B is dominant. So if you have small b there, it doesn't make a difference because capital B is given preference. So they are brown. But when both small and small are present, there's no dominant present, then it will give you blue. Now, quickly tell me what is the ratio of these people? How many brown do we have and how many blue do we have? Zahara,
have
tell me.
Sir, we have 3 brown and 1 blue.
1 blue. Zahara, any questions?
No, sir.
Now, Lula, I can't simplify this. I can't simplify this any further because one of them is already 1. There's no way to divide with anything to make it simple. So this is the final answer, the ratio, which is most important. If you want the percentage, this would be about 75 and 25. But they won't ask you this part. You need to know, they will give you questions, but they will only ask you this. So you need to understand the percentage as well. Any doubts in this part? Anyone?
No, sir.
No. These are the two types of crosses you may get. 1-1 monohybrid cross or 3-1 monohybrid cross. The next thing is, let's look at a pedigree diagram then, right? What is a pedigree diagram? We know genetic diagrams are done. This is a pedigree diagram. I'll give you a question from the past papers. Now, have you written all of this, all of you? In your
Yes.
notebook?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Okay. So we look at the pedigree diagram. Now, doing the question, I don't think is difficult for all of you. The only problem is, well, not understanding, but doing the questions is the problem. So we'll start directly with questions. Let's look at this one. Diana, read the question.
Hemophilia is a sex-linked blood disorder in which blood takes a long time to clot. Figure 5.3 is a pedigree diagram showing the inheritance of hemophilia.
All right, hemophilia. Perfect. Now let's see what happens. Fine. In this case, what's happening is we have these two people given. We have male with normal clotting time, male with hemophilia, female with normal clotting time. Okay. Now I've told you, let's write the genes for these. Let's say we always have male and female. Let's say what male and female are. Now what are we doing right now? We're looking at something called sex-linked characteristics. Write this in your notebook. Now we're solving this using a question. You just have to write it as I'm writing it. Let's look at the parents here. The parents are male or female. Okay, but the alleles you'll get over here are quite different. Let's say now the genotype will also have that. Let's say these are XX, XY, and XX. Fine. But for the alleles, we'll have something else. We'll have this. Now that X chromosome can have different types. Now we saw over here that how X and X form something. But X can also have even more types. We have X and Y, now X has more types. Let's see, X could be, let's call it XH and X small h. Fine. But Y does not have any types. Is that clear? Y is only Y. It doesn't have Y, H and Y small h. Nothing like that. Now I'll tell you what these alleles mean. X capital H could mean normal. Fine. X small h means, let's say, hemophilia. Write all of this in your notebook. And finally, we have YH, which means no. Well, we don't have YH, we just have Y. So Y isn't really an allele. Y, we'll write Y, no types, or no alleles. Why no alleles? Write this in your notebook in front of here. No alleles because too short. Now the longer a gene is, let's say I have a gene like this, okay, something going like this. This is a gene. Or on the other hand, I have another gene which looks small like this. That the possibility is that there can be more types of this gene than there could be types of this gene. Because smaller, it can't make many types. So all you need to know is no alleles because it's too short. Let's get back to the question. Now I have two alleles here, XH, capital H, and X small h. Fine. Now how do we realize read this part, Zara. What is the question asking us?
The normal allele is represented by XH, and the mutant allele is represented by smaller h.
Small h. So this means X capital H means normal, while hemophilia or mutant is the one which is wrong. Mutant means wrong, or let's say something which is changed allele. Okay, so hemophilia is X small h. Let's start doing crosses. Now they're asking us what is the genotype of P. They're asking us the genotype of this person. They're asking us the genotype of Q. They're asking us the genotype of R. These three people. Now how can I find it? Let's see. Let's first start with looking at all the possible genotypes of the other people. Now when I have these phenotypes in this question, Diana, can you tell me what is the phenotype? Or Lula, can you tell me what is the phenotype? You're muted. Rachit, what is a phenotype?
Sir, phenotypes are the physical features of an organism.
Physical features of an organism. Perfect. So this is what you're seeing here. This is the physical feature, that this male has normal clotting time, this has hemophilia, this female has normal clotting time. So this basically means what they are in the physical sense, what you see in reality. But these are the genes in their bloods. Now from this, I can realize that if a male has X capital H, he must be normal. If a male has X small h, then he must have hemophilia. However, a female with normal clotting time could be of two types: XH, X small h. Let's say XH, X capital H, and X capital H, X small h. Now quickly, Lula, read the phenotype and the genotype out loud.
Male with normal clotting time, XHY.
X capital HY, right? We also realize that X capital H is dominant because it's capital. While this one is dominant, capital is dominant, while always the small is always recessive. So small is recessive, always. Fine. Now, what kind of genotypes can I make? What possibilities do I have? I have a few possibilities. I can make, let's say, if the male is normal, then he must have X capital HY, because he is normal. He cannot have X small hy, because that would make him hemophilia. Now the genotype for hemophilia will be X small hy. Why is that? Because small h is the gene for hemophilia. Now female who is normal can have two types, either X capital H or X capital H small h. Now Diana, can you tell me why does female with capital H have normal clotting time? Why capital H is the gene for normal time? Because it is already given in the question. So they're telling us that it's normal, therefore she must have these genes. So there's one more possibility. Zara, read this one. Read this part and this part out loud.
Female with normal clotting time, capital X, capital H, capital X, capital H, or capital X, capital H, and then capital X. Is it N?
So this part, Rashid, read it again from here.
Yeah, sir.
X capital H.
X capital H, X capital H, or X capital H and X small h.
Small h. Now, what this means over here is, if I have both small h and capital H, Lula, which one is given preference?
Yes, sir.
If I have both small h and capital H, which one will be given preference? If I have both small h and capital H, which one will be given preference?
We know that capital H means normal and small h means containing hemophilia.
Right. So since capital H is dominant, even though she has, or the female has both hemophilia, the gene for hemophilia and the gene for normal, since capital H is dominant, then she's going to be normal. Fine. Let's make some possibilities. Okay. I can have X capital H small h. I can have H small h small h. I can have capital H capital H. That's all the possibilities I can have. What else can I have? I can have these are for the female. For the male, I can have more stuff. I can have X, small h, capital H, Y, and this. These are the possibilities. Now, quickly tell me the phenotypes. I want the answer for this one from Zahara, this one from Rachit, this one from Lula, this one from Diana, and this one from Zahara. Tell me the genotypes for all of these. The phenotypes for all of these. Start. Zahara, start with the first one.
It's a female.
Female.
No,
Fine.
sure,
what
no. I'm supposed to answer here.
In these names, is it normal or is it hemophilia?
It's recessive.
Small h is recessive and
Yeah.
capital H is dominant.
So
So
both.
if I have capital H and small h, which one will be given preference? What phenotype will I get?
Normal.
Normal, because it is dominant. Now, Rachit, tell me the second one. What is the phenotype?
So the second one will get hemophilia because both are small h.
Both are small h. So small h means hemophilia. Now, Luna, tell me the third one.
Because both of our dominant X, it's normal.
Normal. Diana, the next one.
It's dominant because they're both normal.
Normal. Now, dominant only matters if I have two, right? Right now, it's only one, and therefore it must be hemophilia. Normal. Must be normal. Now, Rachit, the last one.
So the last one would be hemophilia.
Hemophilia. Because there's only one possibility. There's no there's only small, so it must be hemophilia. Okay. Now, from this chart which I've made for you, I want you to tell me what are the possible, let's say, if I ask you, let's say over here, I'm going to remove these. You have to tell me what are the possible genotypes for male with normal clotting time or normal. So what are the genotypes for normal male? Look at the table here and answer. Genotype for normal male. Diana, tell me. Rachid, the next two I want you to answer in the chat. The genotype for male with hemophilia and female with normal clotting time. What are the possible genotypes? If I look at the first question, they're telling us male with normal clotting time. So it must be this person, male and normal. That's the only possibility I have. So this is my genotype. Is that clear?
Yes.
Since male with normal, that's the only genotype. So I'll write over here, X, H, and Y. Now, Diana, male with hemophilia. What is the possible phenotype, genotype?
1.
Which one? Is it, which of these is it? This one, this one, this one, or this one? Now, they're asking us male with hemophilia.
The last one.
The last one. So that is X, small h, and Y. Now, Zahara, for female with normal, what are the possible genotypes? Rachid, write the answer for the last one in the chat.
Sir, can you repeat the question again?
The question is, for female with normal female, what are the possible genotypes?
H and XH.
So I've
So
sent it to you in the chat.
It's this. So female is normal when this happens, and female is also normal when this happens. So there are two possibilities in this case. Female will be normal if I have XH, capital H, and small h, or if both of them are capital. Is that clear? These two are possible for normal. Now, how will we use this to solve our question? Now, since I know that the parents are both normal, yes, both of them are, they're not black, they're white. So all the ones with the white squares are normal. Female with normal is white circle, and male with normal is white circle, white square. Now, Rachit, let me check your answer is correct. Good. Now, let's see how we solve this question. Over here, I'm just going to write the genotypes. So, this guy could be XHY, and normal female could be either XH or XH small h, the small h one. Let's try doing the diagrams for both of these. Let's cross these. There are two possibilities, either this one with this one, or either this one with this one. Let's start with the first test cross. So I'll take male is always same, so it's X, H, and Y. But female could be two possibilities. Let's take the first possibility of female first. So X capital H, X capital H. Now tell me the products, Zahra.
XH.
Capital. I need the capital here, right?
Okay. And then X, H and Y. No, in the one. Yeah.
X capital H and Y.
Yeah. And then
Now Luna, next one.
X capital H, and then
Diana, last one.
H, Y.
Capital H, Y. X capital H, Y. Now that's what we have. Therefore, what is the possibility? Let's write the ratio here. What is the ratio we are getting? For normal, how many? And for hemophilia, how many?
2:2.
So we have 2:2. Both there. Well, not really. Just a second. There is no one over here with hemophilia. Yes, there's no one with hemophilia. Can you see that? To be hemophilia, you must have small h, right? So normal are 4, and both of them are 0. Now, can you tell me? These are the genotypes I have. Just a second. These are the genotypes I have. XH, XH, and I have XH and small Y. Now, Rachid, tell me the genotype of both of these, the phenotype of both of these. What physical characteristics do I get?
Yes, sir. For X capital H and X capital H, we'll get normal, and for Y, X capital H and Y, we'll also get normal.
Normal, because we don't have small h here. Therefore, normal are 4. All 4 of these are normal, when hemophilia are 0. But if you look at the offspring here, let's try the second condition. Let's try the green ones now. Let's try X capital H Y with X capital H small h. Now I'm just going to make the table for you. You have to tell me the answers. Now this time, I need the answer from Rachit and Diana. We have XH. What are the genotypes? We have X, H, and Y, and the other one is. Luna, read this one.
X, H capital, X, H small capital, small.
Small. So let's write that here. So X is capital and X H small h. Now Diana, tell me all the products for the first row. Rachit for the second row. Start. Diana, first row, tell me the products I'm getting.
X, H, X, H.
Now you have to tell me if it's capital or small, right? So capital H, X capital H. The second one is this one.
X, H, Y. X capital H. Yeah.
Y. Now Rachit, next one.
Yeah, sir. So X capital H and X small case H. Then X small case H and a Y.
Y. Now why we just have one? There's no type of these. Now, okay, let's see what genotype are we getting. What genotype are we getting? Zara, tell me what are the possible genotypes I'm getting over here? The different genotypes I'm getting, tell me.
The difference,
Now you have to tell me all of these. Which of these are different? Just tell me. Or the unique ones here. I mean, we have XH, X capital H. We have, what is the other one? X capital HY, X capital H small h, and X small hy. Now all of these are different. None of them are same, so I have to write all of them. Now, Zara, quickly tell me the phenotype of all of these.
okay, so the first is normal.
Okay.
This is recessive. No,
Say that again. We don't have
normal.
recessive, normal. We only say normal or hemophilia. Next.
Is this capital? No, is it small h? Okay, so it's normal too. And this one
Diana,
is
last one.
Hemophilia.
Hemophilia. Now, Rachit, tell me, which of these crosses do you think matches with over here? Over here, I'm getting one person with hemophilia. And from this, let's look at the diagram here. From this, I'm getting this person, this person, this person, and this person. Let's look at our diagram here as well. The cross I did, the second cross. In second cross, what is the ratio, Rachel? Tell me quick.
Sir, for the second cross,
Yes, the ratio. Normal and hemophilia, what is the ratio?
sir, for normal it is 3 and hemophilia it is 1.
So, Lula, which of these 4-0 ratio or 3-1 matches with the question?
3:1.
So that's the second cross. Therefore,
Yes.
this parent must be X capital H small h. She cannot be this. If both of them are capital H, then we won't get any hemophilia. So this is not possible. So let's cross this out. Okay, so I understand that P must be X capital H and X small h. So let's write that over here. X capital H, X small h. Now they're asking us about Q and R. Okay, Q has hemophilia and he's a male. So what is the possible genotype of male with hemophilia? Lula, tell me. Rachel, answer in the chat. Zara, Diane, answer in the chat. Lula, for male with hemophilia, what is the possible genotype?
1.
Not one. There's no one genotype. What is the letters? What are the letters? The letters
In
are,
letters.
yes,
X small hy.
X small hy. And for R, what type of person is R? Zara,
R is normal, male.
normal.
Without
And what is the possible genotype of normal male?
X capital HY.
X capital HY. So the second, these were easy, but the first one you have to do some crosses. This capital HY. Now, Rachit, why is your answer wrong for Q?
Sir, I'll check it.
Recheck it. Let's try another question. Ask me if you have any doubts here. Now, we're learning right now, so things may feel difficult. But from the next question on, it will feel easy. Any doubts, Zara, Diana, Lula, Rachit?
Sir, it was on automatic caps lock, so that is why it happened.
All right.
I guess.
Fine, no worries. Now, again, let's try one more difficult question. Now, guys, do you think this is understandable? Are you understanding?
Yes.
How difficult
Yeah,
do you
sir,
think
it's an easy chapter.
Easy chapter, right? Not that difficult compared to other chapters. Now, when I was doing IGCSE, I thought this was very easy. I could just memorize in 5 minutes and done. So, but the only problem is if you have practice. And by the way, you'll have an exam for this chapter in the next class. Is that clear? So whatever we have done so far, you'll get a test in the next class. Q. So question number 2. Diana, read the question.
Shows a p-degree diagram for color blindness, color vision female, career female, color blind female, color vision male, career male, color blind male.
Male, all right. Now can you hear me? Guys, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Now can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's continue. Now over here, all we have to see is read the question, this one. Now continue from here. Zara.
Person 13 and figure 4.2 is male. His parents are 7 and person 8. Use the key to complete figure 4.2 by drawing the correct symbol for person 13.
Fine. One thing we need to realize here is that over here in the last question, we saw a few things. The thing was, even though this person had small h, which causes hemophilia, they were still normal. But they're not really, they are normal, but they're different. They're called normal carriers. Is that clear? What are they
Yes.
called?
Yes.
Normal
Normal
carriers.
carrier.
Carrier of what? Of hemophilia. Because they don't have it, but if their offsprings can get hemophilia, even though they don't have it. Okay, that's like COVID. Sometimes people had COVID, but they didn't really feel the symptoms, but they could still cause it to other people. In the same way, over here, that happens. So that is what they mean by carrier. How do I find the correct symbol for person 13? What will person 13 be? Will that person be a circle, a square, or what? So how do we go about this question? First thing first is let's look at the parents. And let's write these are the key given. These are the phenotype given. Tell me the genotype for all of these. Quick. The first one, Diana, tell me. Rachit, second one. If I give you some genes, perhaps if I tell you that the genes are X, let's say H is for color blind, right? Okay, so blind is for or let's try with capital B. That's for blind. And small b is normal. Now, tell me the genotype for color vision female, normal female. Or let's say X small b means color vision.
XX.
So this will be XX, that's female. But what are the genotype for her? What alleles do I have? These are called alleles, these small letters here. So both these H's, will they be capital B, or capital B, small or small b, small b? What do they have?
Capital B.
And
Capital B.
okay. Now, Zahara, do you think there's another possibility for a color vision female?
So it might, yeah, B can be
No,
there.
not no. There's, tell me. Yeah, tell me.
X capital B and X capital smaller b.
Smaller b. But they've given another possibility for here. That's carrier female. So we don't put it here. We'll put this one in the carrier female part. She's normal, but she's a carrier. Fine? Because she has both. Fully normal means you just direct completely normal has to be capital B, capital B. But if you have both capital B, small b, then you're normal, but you're also a carrier. That's what we have here. Now for colorblind female, what is the genotype? Tell me.
Gonna be X small b and X again small b.
Rachit, for color vision male, quick.
Sir, it would be X capital B and Y.
For carrier male.
Sir,
X
it would be
capital
X capital B and Y.
And,
Y.
but that's okay. Luna, any other answers? Any possible answers?
X capital V and Y small b.
X capital B and Y small b. Okay. Diana, any other possible answers? Do you think, or Zara?
No,
Any other
sir.
possibilities than this? Then okay. Now I'll tell you that both of these are wrong.
I
Why is
think-
that? Because say that again.
Can I try?
Try Diana, go on.
X small b, Y small b.
Okay. Now again, this is also wrong. I'll tell you why. Now you guys are doing pretty good actually understanding. I'm quite let's say shocked because you're very good at this. No worries. But the problem is there is only Y, right? There's no only Y. There's no Y, B, Y, capital B. Is that clear? Write this in your notebook. Rule. Write this in your notebook. All of you. Fine. Now, tell me when you're done writing. Rashid as well. So now we know why
Yeah,
these two are
sir.
wrong. But why is
So
this
first
wrong?
of all, I had a doubt though, but I said once let sir complete the genotypes, then I'll
Alright.
ask him.
All right. Now over here, this is normal, right? So another rule is male never carrier. Okay, because male can only have XB or X small b. Why? There's no possibility of him having both XB and small b, right? If he did have this, then that would be a female. That's not possible. Therefore, can never carrier. Only possibility. Write these two rules in your notebook. Only possibility is XB and X small by. Okay, this one is normal and this one is colorblind. Let's say mutant or disease. Let's say disease. Some disease, right? It would be colorblind, whatever.
So the carrier male and colorblind are same.
Carrier male and colorblind not same. There is no carrier male. They've just given this here to confuse you. All right. So no carrier male. Is that clear? None.
Okay.
There could be carrier female. She can have both two types of X, but male can only have one type of X. Male never carrier only has one type of X. Has only one type of X. Write this in your notebook. Tell me when you're done. Finally, tell me, Rachit, colorblind male.
Sir, it would be X small b and X small, oh sorry, Y.
Why? Fine. Let's go about it. The next thing is, have you written all of this in your notebook? Tell me when you're done. And give the title here, sex-linked characteristics.
Done, sir.
So at the end, right? So let's say, characteristic or mainly depends on X. Let's say mainly depends on X or mainly depends on female. Or let's say X. X is fine. Mainly depends on X. X chromosome. Done. Diana, how much?
I'm done, sir.
Done. All right. Perfect. Let's try the question now. We know all of this information. In the exam, you will be not writing all of this. When you look at the question, you'll understand everything by yourself, right? In your head, not writing everything. Not okay. Let's remove this part for now. Let's get back to this. Fine, we have all of these. Now they're asking us, tell us the correct symbol for 13. Okay, person 13. Right. Now, since these symbols are given here, you have a colorblind female and you have a color vision male. What are the genotypes of both of these? So colorblind female, the genotype is, Diana, tell me.
X small b, X small b.
X small b. And the other one is X capital B and Y. Not X, yeah, X capital B and Y. So now all we have to do is try and guess the outcome. So let's do a cross here, test cross, and tell me the products quick.
X capital B, X small b. Then X capital B, then X small b.
Okay, other one. Y. And XPY. Any doubts? I hope not.
Okay.
Now they're telling us the person 13 is a male. What are they telling us? Is a male. Right? Male. So what is the possibility of what possibility of male do you have here? So males can be only XB and XBY and XBY. That's all we have. Now both of these are let's say colorblind because both of them have small b, so both are colorblind. Both possibilities only colorblind. So the only possibility I have is colorblind. Okay, but female could be normal carriers. That's the only possibility I have. So let's write it here. For XBY, what do you think is the phenotype? Colorblind. Therefore, what is the symbol for colorblind? Tell me here, Rachit.
Sir, it's the black square.
Black square. So the answer here is black square. Now you will not be doing everything here. All you had to do was write this step 1, write these genotypes, step 2, and done. That's it. So write the genotype, then see, okay, 7 and 8 are doing a cross. Then do the cross and then write the answer. Third step. 1, 2, 3. I'm just doing this so you understand. Last thing is, color blindness is a sex-linked characteristic. Explain why females 4 and 5 are carriers even though their mother is not a carrier. Read the question, Zahra, out loud from here.
Explain why females 4 and 5 are carriers even though their mothers is not a carrier.
Even though mother is not a carrier. So this answer will be based on the again the X chromosome. We'll see here. Look at the answer. Now, Rachit, read the first line.
One X chromosome from each parent and
Alright.
X from father.
X from father.
Mother
Slash
does
X
not
from father.
have any.
Alright. Now, next, start the next one. Read the next
Mother
one,
does.
Lula. Lula, hurry up.
Mother does not have any colorblind alleles. Father passes one on one colorblind allele. All female offsprings are heterozygous, X capital B and X small b.
Okay, what this means is they're looking at females 4 and 5. 4 and 5. Where is 4 and 5? These. 4 and 5. Now, if I do a cross between 1 and 2, well, 1 is color vision females. She must be X capital B, X capital B. And this guy must be X small by. Let's do a cross quickly. XB, XB, and XB, Y. So I get XB, X capital B, and small b. I get capital B, Y, and capital B, Y. These are the possibilities I'm getting. This and this. Since both of them are female, they must have 2 X chromosomes, not male. So let's forget these two people. Let's look at these. Now, both of them are carriers. Okay, that's what the question is asking. So all we'll say is the father gives the X chromosome. 1 X chromosome must be from the father, right? Because we are joining, we're making combos. This and this joins, or this and this joins. Since father only has X small b, therefore the father passes on the colorblind allele. Let's look. But the answer is, write in your notebook. Write this question over here and write the answer. Then we are done. The question is, explain why females, let's say it's a female right offspring are carriers even though their mother is not a carrier. So the answer is, even though mother has no X small b allele, which means colorblind allele, father is colorblind, X small by. Write this in your notebook, quick. And only has one type of X chromosome, X allele, which is blind. Third point is, father passes 1 X XB to both offsprings. So even though the mother does not have any colorblind alleles, the father does have, and that father is basically passing to the offsprings. Write this down. Tell me when you're done.
Done, sir.
Done. Now that is all for today. In the next class, we're going to look at more practice, and you have a test as well. This is going to be a very short test, not so long, but we'll do a test in the next class.
Sorry, tomorrow in school we are having a bio test.
Which chapter?
At the same chapter, reproduction in plants and humans both.
Humans. We have done humans.
Yeah.
Yes,
we have
and
plants.
Plants. Well, Lula had not joined then, and Zahra, you were absent. So we finished reproduction in humans and plants with Rania, I think. So we'll go over it again,
Human and plants both.
right? But we can't do all of that right now. So you'll have to practice on your own. Should I give
Yeah.
you a worksheet to solve?
Yeah, send us a worksheet so we try that.
And if there is the videos of the recordings for class.
Yeah. You have the recording. So I'll send you the recordings. Sure.
Okay.